I didn't post it. I just sent it to Hope because people spin like with stuff, but it was interesting. Like she was basically talking about how like there's been so much interference with the divine plan and like attacks on Gaia, the light workers, like all this stuff, and that it's basically been so relentless that like it's halted the ascension process.
Yeah, I feel like it's not even like anything that anybody can do. I mean, obviously, like at the end, and I'm sure if you guys follow her on Facebook, you saw it because a lot of people follow the people that we post and all that. But like, she was like, Gaia needs to be made public and all that. And I'm like, I feel as much as we have people that are awake or aware of what's going on, I don't feel like there's anything of public recognition that's going to change this kind of sector. And I mean, it's something that I've always tapped into or felt into since Mom ascended off the planet, is that it is much worse in the etheric realm than what Mom probably thought, because they probably didn't want to tell her this while she was already struggling down here physically of how much they were dealing with up there and how much of a shit show it was/is. But yeah, that's just my feeling of that. It's obviously just the dark energy that does not want to let go. Does that trickle out into why people aren't waking up and we're not having these shifts? Yes, but is there a bigger energy at play? And is it the controllers that have control in the etheric realm and don't want Mom to have that power, or Gaia or the planet, humanity, everything to ascend? Yes. Like, I do feel that it's worse than what we can think it is. We assume that the etheric has it all put together, but because I feel we are merging with the etheric, that a lot of that energy has been able to infiltrate the etheric, so they have their own kind of battles that they have to deal with, just like we have to deal with the stupidity that we have to down here with all of, the interference, dysfunction.
Right. I agree. I mean, I think that, when you're merging realms, and it's like Mom had always said, like, that's why she would say, like, it's not really about humanity. Like, it is and it isn't, because this ascension process is not just about us. Like, it's about the ascension of the whole cosmos, of like the clearing of all dark energy. So everybody's merging back into that like oneness. So of course they're gonna have some shit to deal with up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what Mom, we talked about it so many times on the streams of like, Mom was like, oh yeah, all the darkness is here. Well, it has nowhere to go. So are we surprised that Earth's ascension is delayed, maybe gone a bit backwards, and people, whatever? I'm not shocked, because there's no other planet, there is no other realm for this energy to go. So the only option is we're going to get stalled, because it can't, the darkness can't just be like, oh, I'm going to go to planet QXYZ and reside there. It has to be recycled and then used for the highest light, which means that it goes to higher consciousness but gets dissolved completely through the galactic central sun. So yes, they're going to hold on. Yes, they're going to try to maintain control. Yes, things are going to be at the pace that they are now. Will everything work out in the end? Of course. But I'm sure we have felt that delay. I'm sure that's why it is heavy. I'm sure things are supposed to be moving along more than what they are in these moments, but I feel a lot of it is out of everybody's control. The only people we can focus on is ourselves. We can only focus on being the best that we can be, being in alignment, doing our own inner work. There's really not much outside of that we can really do right now, I feel. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell people about everything, but again, it's their choice whether they want to hear it, do their work. It's all, everyone knows how that kind of goes with that kind of process.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like, I get it. Like, I get that there's only so much that we can do on the ground, per se. Yeah. But I've also, like, just from my own personal feelings and, like, what I've tapped into Mom and the Galactics is that, there was supposed to be way more people, like, assisting with this process.
Right.
Like, and a lot of the people that are, quote-unquote, like, awakened are really not doing anything. Like, they're not assisting with the ascension process. Like, they have this idea that because they, like, know about the job, or they found out about disclosure, or like they've done a little bit of inner work, that like they're good, like they've done their part. And it's like, this is a huge operation, and there's just like a lack of same thing when mom was here, honestly. I mean, it's really no like shocker, but there was just such a lack of participation like in the ascension process itself, and I think that that's also what is like stalling it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and it is people not especially light workers that are meant to hold that space. But I feel like the biggest thing is, again, and it sucks because only the individual can do this work. Yeah. Belief systems, do I feel probably the biggest religion thing? Yeah, religion. She didn't even have to that's the biggest belief system that I feel is holding a lot of people back. Like there are a lot of truth people out there that are amazing. Someone like Lynn Wood, but he's a diehard Christian, and that's okay. I'm not shitting on like Christianity, but like we need to be going deeper. And if you were looking for continuous growth, and this is why people have remained stagnant in the religious sector. Again, it's all good. Everyone's at where they're at, but at the end of the day, like somebody that is so awake and aware, why can't we start to be more aware that the earth is an entity, or that we should be honoring the earth and including the feminine, and just not being so heavy-handed with the Father God energy, like those things. I feel, especially with
balance,
like the work that mom did, at the very least more people should be open to Mother, Father, God, besides the same handful of channelers that we know about since 2018. Like
so
it's
true.
People that were connected to mom, like there's Celia Fenn, and Linda Lee's been doing it for we know the people that acknowledge Mother and Father God. Again, it's a handful. It's a lot, mostly women, because they get it, but I would have felt at this point, yes, I see people on TikTok and I see people bringing it up, but it's still too few and far between. I see more Christians on TikTok than I do people saying that where's the mother essence, and I would have felt 100%. That we would be more along since mom left, that maybe would have infiltrated the consciousness
it's like the irony of it all, right?
Yeah.
It's I agree, and unfortunately the disclosure community, where they played a role, but they are stuck.
Well, that's,
the majority of these disclosure people who woke up from Trump, the election, COVID, right? They're super strong about disclosure and the truth, but they are die hard, deep hatred of feminine.
Well, feel into disclosure, just to add to the point of what you're saying of just think of Q. Did Q bring up anything about religion? Every religion being bullshit?
Ever.
No. I don't think so.
No.
I'm not 100% a big Q person, but you know what I mean? Disclosure.
They would say God, but that's about it.
Right. They wouldn't even say he/she. You would think that these people that are really people I saw it in Ben Fulford's article that he wrote, where he was straight up Christianity's got to fall. All religion has to fall, but Christianity's the worst. And that's the first time I've seen a disclosure person really call out religion. But other than that, you're saying, disclosure in that community calls out nothing of the religious programming.
Oh no, it's their we've been lied to about everything except this.
That's what I'm saying. Everything but Jesus Christ.
What?
Right.
What? And it's crazy because there's no common sense there. There's absolute no common sense to those to that belief. They lied to us about everything. I mean, these are people